On today's First Time Buyer channel, we answer the question, how much house can I afford? Hey, welcome back. This is Enrique with First West Financial. I am a California local mortgage broker that specializes in serving the first-time buyers. And this is the First Time Buyer channel where we answer a lot of questions related to purchasing your first home. I know that as a buyer, you probably have a lot of questions. Maybe you're doing research and you stumble upon my channel. Hit subscribe. There's a lot of really good information that we put out constantly. We would like to show it to you, make you a part of it. But today we're going to answer one of the most important questions that every buyer has. How much house can I afford? People call me all the time. They say, hey, Enrique, I want to get pre-qualified. What is my maximum? Or, Enrique, based on my file, how much house can I really buy? And how much is the bank going to give me? Or how much should I really be buying versus what the bank is giving me? So we're going to answer some of those questions. So the first thing you have to remember is that as a buyer, you probably have a pretty good idea what your budget tells you. Maybe you sat down, you did a budget. Maybe you haven't done that, but you figure, hey, I can afford X amount of money in mortgage. Maybe $2,000, maybe $2,100, maybe $1,700. That's what we call the affordability coming from your budget. That's the decision that you and your spouse or yourself are going to make when you're determining how much you want to spend. But the bank may have a different idea. In many cases, the bank is going to qualify you for more money than you actually want to spend. In other cases, it's the other way around. Very often, I get a phone call from someone that says, hey, I want to buy a house for $350,000. The payment is going to be $2,000. And the bank says, I don't think so. You have too many loans, or you have too many cars, or you have too many credit cards. So you're only going to be able to qualify for less, $1,600 or $1,500. People get upset. So listen, let's unpack this and see how it works. So the first thing that I want to encourage you to do is I want you to create a budget for yourself so you can actually determine what is the amount that you would like to spend. That's a good place to start, because when you are getting qualified, the mortgage loan officer may ask you, hey, what is your budget? What do you have in mind? I have people that come in my office and say, oh, I don't want to spend more than $1,000. Well, that number doesn't exist here in California. You can't really have a mortgage that is under $1,000 unless you put a huge down payment, or unless you sold the house and you're rolling over the proceeds to a new one. So first you need to determine what is it that you want to spend in your mind, right? Now that doesn't mean that's what the bank's going to give you. Once you have that number in mind and you fill out a pre-qualification application or an application with a lender, that lender is going to look at three factors to determine how much you can afford. The first one is going to be the type of program that you're going to qualify for. So if you are putting a small down payment, you're going to be on an FHA or a 3% conventional loan. That's going to give us some guidelines of how much we can qualify you for. If you're putting a large down payment, then it's going to be a different program, like a conventional program with 20% down or more. So you're going to have a different affordability factor there. So first, we have to know which program. Second, we have to determine how much down payment you have available. Number three, we have to look at your income and your debt. How much do you make? What are your monthly expenses? We actually put all that information into the computer, and the computer pretty much tells us how far up can we go. I'll give you one example. Let's say that you want to qualify for an FHA loan with 3.5% down. Well, we are going to plug that into the computer. We're going to put in how much money you make. Let's say you make $6,000 a month between you and your spouse. Then we're going to run your credit, and we're going to import your liabilities. That's your car payment, your loan payment, your credit cards. Maybe you don't have a lot of those. That helps. Once we have all that, we are going to look at something that lenders call the ratios. Ratios means how much of your income is going towards housing. How much of your income is going towards all the debt. Those ratios have to be within a certain amount in order for you to qualify. Let's say that the ratios cannot exceed, 50%. So if you have a lot of debt, you're going to qualify for less. If you have more down payment, you're going to qualify for more. So that's how we determine how much you qualify for. Everything matters. Every credit card, every penny you make, the income that you're making right now versus how much were you making the year before? Have you been laid off? Have you had your hours cut because of COVID? There's a lot of factors involved in this. That is the reason why you have to speak to a professional, a mortgage broker like myself, so we can run those numbers and give you the exact amount of how much home you can afford. We're going to talk about some other factors, but that's basically the general idea. So let's talk about income. Income is calculated differently in every instance. The mortgage broker should be able to calculate the income correctly. A lot of people say, oh, I'm making this much this year, but last year I was only working part-time. Well, we're going to take that into account. If you have received a raise recently, that also is going to help you. If you're on salary now, but you used to be on hourly wage, that's going to work to your advantage. Maybe you were in college before and you just started working, so that's also going to have an impact. A lot of people think, oh, I just got a part-time job. Maybe that will help. Well, the truth is that unless you have a history of part-time work, we may not be able to use it if it hasn't been there for 2 years. So that matters as well. So as you can see, this can get a little complicated. That's why we are going to be able to walk you through the process, make it simple and easy. We're going to ask the right questions. We're going to give you the correct qualification. Any good mortgage broker is going to be able to do that for you. Now, in addition to that, there's a couple of things that are also important. For example, if you are shopping for a home that has higher taxes, Melrose, special assessments, that is going to affect how much you can buy. And if the home has flood insurance or maybe a homeowners association fee, that is also going to reduce the amount that you qualify for. I'm going to give you another example. I qualified someone the other day and I said, look, you can actually afford an $1,800 payment. That's what you qualify for. So that's going to be a house of about approximately $220,000. So this person goes out, starts looking for homes, comes back and says, hey, I found a home for $220,000. Can I buy it? Well, upon looking at it closely, it had a $200 homeowner association and the taxes were very high. It had a Melrose in it. So he no longer could afford that $220,000 home. That home he would have had to buy for a lot less. So taxes, HOAs, special assessments, all of that matter. I think that there are about 12 different individual factors that are going to determine whether you can afford something or not. And the only way to find out is really to speak to a broker, to speak to a mortgage professional. That is the reason why we want to help you out. And in the meantime, you're probably wondering, okay, what are some of the things that I can do in order to make things better for myself? Maybe you're looking at buying a home in 6 months or 8 months. Well, without a doubt, one of the most important things you can do is two of them. One of them, save money. Save as much money as you can. The more money you have available, the stronger your ability to purchase a home is going to be. Even $2,000 or $3,000 extra can make a difference. The second factor is, do not acquire any more debt. If you are thinking about buying a home and you know that you don't make maybe a lot of money or you already have a lot of credit cards, buying a car, co-signing for someone, or getting a new loan, that's not going to help you. It's actually going to make things more difficult. So don't get any more debt, and whenever possible, try to pay down some of your debt. I don't mean necessarily to close your accounts, but try to pay down some of the debt. If you have some credit cards that have some balances that you can bring down a little bit, that is going to help you. If you have a car that you're almost paying off, maybe you have 2 or 3 payments left, try to pay that off. That is going to help you tremendously. Cars can be killers when it comes down to trying to qualify for a home. So, as you can see, there's a lot of moving parts. We want to help you out. If you're interested in getting qualified or learning more about how much of a home can you afford, give us a call at 760-488-6482. Also, we can also help you even if you're not in California. We have a network of partners that are amazing independent brokers that we can recommend you to. So if you're watching this and you're in a different state, don't be shy. Reach out to us. Tell them you want to speak to Enrique because you need a referral for a reputable mortgage broker. We're going to connect you with someone that is going to help you out, who's going to do a great job and tell you how much home you can afford. Don't forget, hit the subscribe button. Come back and see us here at the First Time Buyer channel. We look forward to seeing you again. Enrique with First West Financial. We're always here for you. Have a great day.